As you can see, I'm standing here in front of EDELBROCK's new supercharger. Actually, this one here is number 6. It's the 6th one that came off their assembly line. It was sent to us by Vic himself and Rob Simons. Now, Rob, I've known him for, going on about 4.5, almost 5 years now, when he was one of the head engineers at Saline. Well, about a year and a half ago, Rob left Saline and went to work for EDELBROCK, and they decided they're going to get into the supercharger business, and they developed this supercharger. Now, the good thing about this is that it's got a lot of neat stuff, a lot of new technology in it, but the rotors are the TVS rotors. They're actually from Eaton. They incorporated them, but what they did is, with the throttle body being up front, they actually pulled the air in right to the back of the rotors, which makes that really unique. It actually makes it more efficient, makes more power. So we're going to be putting this thing on a dyno tomorrow. We're going to find out how it runs, how it acts, how much power it makes. Now, we're putting it right on a built motor. It's not going on a stock motor. This is actually going on a built motor, so we should see upwards in somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 horsepower out of it. The kit is it's a really nice, thought-out, well-designed kit. Rob Simons, I got to give him a big thumbs up for his efforts in designing this kit, because everything I've looked at so far, including the oversized throttle body, makes it a really nice, unique package. Plus, it's a good performing package. We'll find out about the performance tomorrow, but from what you can see here, if it works as good as they engineered it, it's going to work out real well.
There's a couple of new key features that are designed into the EDELBROCK supercharger system, which make it stand out from any other blower on the market today. The first being the 15-inch runners. Each individual cylinder has its own 15-inch length runner that goes down to the cylinder head. You can see here that there's 15-inch of length of airflow going down from each cylinder. As the air works its way from the supercharger through the intercooler into each intake runner, it has 15 inches of travel. This is going to promote more low-end torque and more of a broader power band for your everyday street use. Another unique feature of this supercharger is the placement of its intercooler system. The intercooler sits just above the supercharger, so as the air exits the supercharger, it blows directly through the cooling system, cooling the air down quicker. Now, this is going to lower your intake air temperature charge. Another important feature as far as the air flowing directly up through the intercooler system is that it doesn't have to make any bends to travel before it is cooled. The least amount of bends and turns the air has to make, the cooler it will stay. Another key component in the EDELBROCK supercharger system is their newly designed 85mm single blade throttle body. This single blade throttle body uses factory electronics and injected molded plastic gearing for OEM reliability. You can see here on the side these factory OEM style plastic gears are designed so that they promote less friction and less drag. That way there's no chance for the gears to bind or stick. A lot of times in aftermarket throttle bodies you'll see they use brass or a billet gear, which has been very known to bind or stick, and that in a wide open throttle situation could lead to such problems as engine failure or redlining your engine. Okay, besides this kit's most important component, the supercharger, EDELBROCK also includes everything needed for installation. You can see here with us that we have all the pulleys and bracketry necessary to relocate the alternator. It comes with a new alternator pulley and a tool to remove the factory alternator pulley, as well as new idler pulleys. All the hardware, they supply a complete hardware kit, as well as new PCV lines, factory-style PCV connections. You have the coolant crossover tube. Now, this is a machine piece that they send with the kit. All the coolant hoses for the coolant system. It comes with a new recovery tank for the supercharger coolant reservoir. Also, an intercooler pump to circulate the coolant throughout that reservoir system. All the hoses, as well as a larger almost an OEM style heat exchanger. You can see here that this large air-to-water intercooler system. Basically will help cool down your supercharger even in some of the hottest conditions. This system here is much bigger than a lot of the aftermarket components, or a lot of the factory components that come with other kits. A lot of times what you'll see is guys going to an upgraded unit which is about this same size. So that's one beautiful thing, is with this system you should never have to upgrade your heat exchanger. Also, it comes with a full wiring harness kit, and for the cars that are 2005 and 2006 model, they also come with the new thermostat housing assembly. This relocates the thermostat to the hot side so that it sees the temperature quicker and knows to open up the thermostat so that the coolant can stay at a much lower temperature. Now, also included in the kit are many tuning components that other supercharger systems usually leave out, leading the customer to having to purchase or buy these parts aftermarket. EDELBROCK, you can see here, includes a pre-programmed custom tuner, which they have spent many hours calibrating to everyday drivability. It's not just like a custom dyno tune that's done in-house one day in perfect conditions. They've tested these in hot temperature, cool temperature, also in extreme elevation conditions. Truly a kit that you can use universally on any Mustang across the country. Besides the custom tuned programmer, they've also included an upgraded slot-style mass airflow sensor to fit into the factory airbox. Also a set of 41 pound-per-hour injectors to provide fueling to the engine, and Autolite HT0 spark plugs. These spark plugs are 1 heat range colder than stock and will help from any spark blowout. EDELBROCK has also included a reinforced tensioner plate for your factory belt tensioner arm. This problem has not yet been addressed by any other supercharger company on the market. Most aftermarket companies, such as JDM Engineering, ourselves, sell a similar plate or an upgraded belt tensioner arm to prevent this. A lot of 05 to 08 Mustangs, or 09 Mustangs now rather, have had this problem where they will bend or break the tensioner arm. This could leave you stranded on the side of the road not having a supercharger belt on the drive. So EDELBROCK realized this, and they included with their kit a reinforced plate that will keep you from ever bending or breaking your stock tensioner arm. EDELBROCK also includes an upgraded air filter to install in your factory-style airbox. Now, if you elect not to use your factory-style airbox and you want to increase for a little bit more horsepower, EDELBROCK offers their competition cold air kit, which you can see here. This utilizes an enclosed-style air filter box with a 7-inch open-ended S&B air filter, and included, the most important part, is their new mass airflow meter. This mass airflow meter is designed by PMAS, and it's a 95mm housing and uses a newer style mass airflow sensor. This mass airflow sensor is capable of handling upwards of 1,000 horsepower. It comes complete with the wiring harness and the connector to fit into your factory mass air harness connector. As you can see here, EDELBROCK has simply provided you with everything necessary to install their supercharger system on your 2005 to 2009 Mustang GT. This kit is complete, turnkey, and ready to drive out the door as soon as it's installed. My personal car is a 2006 Mustang GT Celine. For the last 2 years, I've ran it naturally aspirated with one of our JDM Engineering stroker motors. The car's best ET to date was 11.1 at 120 miles an hour. It's quite a feat for a naturally aspirated engine, but I got a little bit bored with that, so I figured to help spice things up, I'd add a little bit of boost to my life. Called up the guys at EDELBROCK. They provided me with the Supercharger Kit, which is a beautiful system. Really excited to install it on my car this week here. In fact, we even put a new engine together for it. The current engine was a little bit too high on compression, so we put a brand new engine together, a same style build stroker motor, just with the factory 9.8 to 1 compression ratio. We'll be installing the Supercharger Kit on the car this week, actually tomorrow, and hopefully we should be turning out some numbers on the dyno by this Friday. We plan to put out 600 horsepower to the tires with this kit. EDELBROCK has already advertised 466 horsepower as their base numbers with a factory Mustang GT. My car being a little bit more to the extreme, we're going to turn up the boost and push out some big numbers and hopefully have the car running in the 10-second zone very consistently for my everyday street car. Okay, before I finish up here, I just want to let you guys know that if you need any information on the Supercharger Kit, besides getting in touch with EDELBROCK, you can also contact us at JDM Engineering. Call us anytime at 732-780-0770 or on the web at teamjdm.com.